Welcome to O Talkin' with Dave. Put your hands together for the pastor of positivity whose glass is always at least half full. Here's Dave.
Hey, how we doing out there? I hope you're great. I am top shelf. I am kicking. Got so much to talk about, so much to do. Very excited. And today we're going to talk about what is a good person. Several people have hit me up recently where something's happened and someone let them down, maybe betrayed their trust, and they say, I thought they were a good person. Or did you hope they were a good person? I don't know. We throw that good person around just like it's obvious to everybody, or maybe that's what we want it to be. A good person, a good man, a good woman, a good Christian, a good leader, good this, good that. And we say it with confidence, as if everybody should agree on that. Sometimes all the facts aren't in. If you ask 10 people, what makes someone good, a good person? You ask 10 people, you're going to get 12 answers. You're probably going to get a few arguments. And then, there's going to be somebody quietly judging everybody else's answer. Quietly judging, which is, I think it's worse than outwardly judging. But this is not about judge. This is about good people. So let's just slow everything down a little bit, because good is it's not a vibe. It's not even really all encompassed in a reputation. And good, trust me, it's not perfection. No such thing. Goodness shows up in a crisis or under pressure or when the heat is on. So I want to talk about that. And I've got some different things to say about it, and I hope this answers. 2 or 3 people have talked about it, but it's been on my mind too, because we want to see the good in people. We do. Sometimes we're desperate to find good in people because we need something. We need comfort. We need companionship. We need somebody that makes us feel good. And sometimes that can be a challenge. So we're going to talk about good people. How do you find it? What is that? What does it mean? Psychologists estimate that we make character judgments about other people within seconds of meeting them. Sometimes we make judgments on people we haven't necessarily met yet, but on the recommendation or endorsement of other people that maybe we think are good people. But research shows that people consistently overestimate the goodness and underestimate how much this context is influenced and changes and affects behavior. So it's not it could be a slippery slope, but I want to talk through it because I believe there's good in almost everybody. Almost everybody. So what this shows, when people overestimate the goodness and underestimate how that affects our behavior, it tells us some uncomfortable things. Goodness isn't how we see ourselves. It's how we behave when it costs us something. Ouch. Let me say that again. Goodness is not how we see ourselves. It's how we behave when it costs us something or when something is on the line. My mom would have said, they know how to act. They know how to act. Meaning they don't always do it, but they were raised better than that. C.S. Lewis, of course, you've heard this one. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Yeah, that's it. So acting a certain way to appear good. And I don't want to be skeptical. I don't want to be cynical. What I want to do is remind myself and you, what are the characteristics of a good person? 5, we'll call them qualities of a good person. And I don't think I don't think these are refutable in any way. And I think a good person has all five. They have all five. So you want to jump in? Let me take a sip of my Diet Coke. They're not a sponsor, but they could be. Or Red Solo Cups could be a sponsor. Let's talk about it. The first quality of a good person, integrity. All right, Dave, what do you mean by integrity? Because there's a million definitions. A good person is consistent. They're not perfect. No, they mess up, but they're consistent with their integrity. They don't become a different human being depending on who's watching or what they stand to gain. Their values don't disappear out of convenience. No, it's consistent. It's integrity's alignment between belief and behavior. And when it's missing, nothing else matters. Because if someone can't believe what you say, it doesn't matter what you say. Integrity, number one. And the thing is, people know this. People who watch you or are around you, they know if your behavior is consistent. I remember when we used to have, when I was part of a large corporation, we would have the executives come to town and they would do different things or whatever. And I've always been proud of the fact that I'll act the same. Honestly, I can't not. I don't care if the CEO's here. I'm going to tell the same booger jokes and laugh at the same stuff that's funny when they're not here. And my people would see that and they would, that's David. Now, this is not all about me, by the way, but that consistency. Yeah, you can say a certain thing and be a certain way to impress somebody. And I think that's only natural to some extent. However, if you're two different people, that's not integrity. Integrity is backing up what you say and being consistent, making mistakes, but admitting they're your mistakes. So integrity, big one for a good person. The second one, humility. Good people don't have to win every room they're in. They don't have to get in the last word every time. Good people will listen. And again, they admit when they're wrong. They understand that being right is less important than being fair. And we'll go to some others. Sometimes being fair hurts. It hurts you, it hurts the other person, because fairness sometimes is a brutal thing, because sometimes to be fair, there is punishment involved for somebody or consequences or something like that. So being fair is not always the easy way out. And humility, a lot of times, it is mistaken for weakness. No, humility is confident without all that noise. You don't have to prove something. You don't have to defend everything. Humility is a tough lesson to learn. You're going to learn it. You're going to learn it eventually if you're around long enough. But I love it. I love the fact that to be humble around where you are. One thing that I do to try to stay humble, and trust me, I've got an ego and I like to win. I'm competitive. However, when I try to be humble, I practice gratitude. I'm so grateful for something. Usually, I am grateful for something I don't deserve. I do the gratitude post at least once a week. It's hard to be arrogant and lack humility and be forever grateful at the same time. Integrity, humility, two qualities of a good person. The third, accountability. A good person owns their mess. Oh my, the messes I have made. They don't blame. They don't outsource the blame for somebody else as a scapegoat. No. They don't rewrite history to fit their dysfunctional story or dialogue. And they definitely don't hide behind excuses. They say things like, man, I messed that up. This one's on me. I was in a situation the other day, and this young man hadn't been with the company very long, and he's trying to make a name for himself. And he said he let me know something, and when I relate it to the people that needed to know, I misspoke. And it was a subtle difference, but it changed the whole meaning. And then they came back and was complaining about this young man who didn't know anything. And why did he do that? We can't trust him, blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, that one's on me. He told me this, and I didn't relay it properly. That one's on me. And so I'll fix it. I'll fix this. Somebody already said something to him. I go to him saying, look, I let them know. That was on me. That was on me. Don't you worry about that. And I made sure that they did. So the main part of this is owning your mess. It's so important. That accountability. Accountability is not always a bad thing, though. Accountability means you can prove the good stuff you did. If accountability is not in play, it's not just bad. If accountability is not in play, then it's hard to keep up with progress. But saying, I messed that up, or that's on me, or I'll fix it, and then doing it, that gives tons of credibility. However, that's not why you do it. You own your mess and embrace accountability because that's the quality of a good person. All right. The fourth quality of a good person, empathy. I don't really rank these. Integrity, I think, is probably one, but empathy is so important. When good people recognize that everyone is fighting something that's just invisible, you have no idea what people are going through. And if you do hear what they're going through, you can't appreciate that perspective. Even if you've been through the same thing, the perspective changes with that person and their age and things leading up to that, their trajectory they're on, up or down, it changes. And good people recognize that's a battle that no one can relate to in the same way. Don't excuse bad behavior, but they don't seek to feeling the pain, understanding the pain, fearing the pain, and the context of all of that. It's so important. And to have empathy without knowing the degree of pain, no matter what, that's what a good person does. Respond to people, not just their problems. Empathy is almost like it's an agreement. It's an agreement that I don't know what they're going through. I can't understand it, but I am aware, and I'm gonna give some grace or tolerance or whatever that is, because there's people all around you right now just battling for something. They don't know. They don't know the answers. Maybe they can't even put a label on what they're feeling. And empathy is caring or considering something like that. One thing that I learned when my father was facing dementia toward the end, and I just didn't get why he was acting this way. I know the disease cripples you. I know the disease makes you not recognize people. But then in the advanced stages, I read that one of the main cornerstones of advanced dementia is they lose their empathy. They lose that, and that's where that comes from. And it really, and I'm not talking bad about my dad right now, but it lets me see what a total lack of empathy looks like. And it's not good. It's not good at all. And nobody wants to have to go through that to really grasp it. However, a lack of empathy is ugly. A lack of empathy, when someone is so selfish, they have no empathy for anyone else. I've talked about it. They can't find peace, because empathy is a pathway to peace. Feeling good about that. Being considerate. Recognize somebody's going through something. I don't have to know, but I'm giving them some space. I'm being empathetic. Those who are selfish and lose their empathy, it's ugly. It's ugly. So the last one I'm going to talk to, there are more. The last quality of a good person, good old reliability. Good people show up. You can count on them. They'll help you move. They'll take you to the airport. They'll do unsavory things to help you out because they're reliable. They're a good person. Not just when it's convenient, or not just to make themselves look good or pander in some way, but when it really matters. I know that I could call on a bunch of different people and they drop what they're doing, come help me. They would. They're reliable. I often don't do that because I'm empathetic. Not just pathetic, I'm empathetic. But the thing is, the steady reliability shows, okay, that's a quality of a good person. When the world is addicted to drama or gossip or whatever angle they may have, reliability builds trust quietly. It does. And a lack of reliability is loud. You can't count on them. You don't call them. You don't trust them because they've proven you can't. So let's hit these again. 5 qualities of a good person: integrity, humility, accountability, empathy, and reliability. If you've got somebody with those 5 things, and you know these to be true, they've proven it to you, not that they don't mess up, then you've got a good person. And good people are important. How do they respond to life events? How they respond to conflict. They want resolution. It's not about winning. It's not about dominating. A good person, when conflict happens, they just want resolution. You can't get through it till you get in it. Well, let's get through it. Let's not linger here. And even if the resolution is not necessarily their idea of a perfect situation, they still want to get through it because they're a good person. How do they respond to panic? They slow down. Hold on a minute. Let's stop a minute. They don't have the motto, it's never too soon to panic, like some people I know. They slow down instead of speeding up and spreading the chaos. A good person responds that way to panic. What about urgency? Sometimes we slow down, but sometimes there's a sense of urgency around it. They are very deliberate. They're not reckless. No, that's the way good people respond to urgency. Methodically, deliberately, but not recklessly. How about criticism? Who likes criticism? Not me. But they evaluate before reacting. As we've said before, they respond. They evaluate and respond rather than just reacting. And then finally, how about failure? How does a good person respond to failure? They learn. They don't collapse. They don't quit. They don't blame. They learn. They learn that lesson that they would not have learned otherwise. Good people don't avoid pressure. They reveal themselves in it. You always heard sometimes sports builds character. It reveals character or a lack of. So when you have conflict and panic and urgency and criticism and failure in your life, all right, that will reveal how good of a person you are, and it will reveal what's on the inside. So we've talked about good. You want to talk about bad? A lot of it is just the opposite. However, the bad qualities cannot exist in the presence of the good qualities. Think about that. So as we go through this list, and you said Joe's got 3 of the 5 on the good side, but he's got 2 of these bad ones. Not a good person, in my opinion. You can't have the bad qualities in the presence of the good ones and still be a good person. So what are they? Dave, it's a cliffhanger. Please tell us the bad qualities. I think you know them. Just be honest. This one's easier. This list is so much easier. Dishonesty. A bad person's truth is flexible when it's not convenient. Not only telling lies, perpetuating lies, answering with lies. You can't be a good person and be dishonest. Self-justification. Hello. Blame game. Nothing is ever their fault. Yeah, I did this, but it was because of this. Yeah. No, I didn't really do that. They did it, and it made it look like I did it. It's the opposite of accountability. You can't have that and be a good person. Cruelty. Cruelty. There's so many different ways to look at this. They dismiss other people's pain. They mock people that are weaker than them. I think, what do they call it? Punching down? Is that the new thing? Yeah. They act like they're kind to animals. They're not. Cruelty. You can't be cruel and be a good person. Sometimes even something is, I don't know, what's the word? As subtle as inconsistency. Rules change based on how it benefits them. They slant things. We'll change the rules. Meaning, I'm this way now. The next day, I'm this way because it's not convenient to be the way I was yesterday. And see, you see that. You see, bad people don't fool people for long, and they don't ever fool good people for long. Dishonesty, self-justification, cruelty, inconsistency. And the last one I'll go over today is entitlement. They believe the world owes them something. I deserve this. I've never lifted a finger for myself because I deserve better. They can have everything in the world, but nope, it's not enough. The world owes me more. Whew. That's the opposite of gratitude. That's not a good person. The thing is, many times bad people, it's not always out loud. Sometimes they're very charming. They're very strategic, but they are exhausting because they're exhausting to the people they're around. They're also exhausting to themselves because it's a lot of work to cover up your dishonesty and your cruelty and your entitlement. So they're easier to spot. And let me tell you something. If they demonstrate any of these 5 things and probably 20 more, they're a bad person. There are people that we like to prop up. They're a good person. I heard it many times growing up. Oh, he's a good Christian man. Ask his accountant. Ask the guy that goes fishing with him, and they get behind the island and drink beer all afternoon. Nothing wrong with that, but you're not a good Christian man if you're doing that. So many other scenarios. Yeah. I think we want certain people to be in the club. Yeah, they're good. I say that's why sometimes we will repeat that somebody's a good person based on the recommendation of others. And I don't like that because good people matter. Good people matter. Living as a good person has benefits that they don't show up immediately. Then sometimes you feel like, wait a minute, why is all this happening to me? I'm a good person. There's a reason if you are a good person. Sometimes, no, you're not. That's why it's happening to you. But many times, wait a minute, why is this happening to me? Because it doesn't always show up all at once. It's not a charmed life to where everything is great. No, good people matter because with good people, there's a deeper level of trust. There is. They've earned it. And if you're a good person, you've earned it. And it's a deeper level of trust that you don't have otherwise. I've been burned. I thought they were a good person. I had signs. There were signs. But with a good person, you have a deeper level of trust. Your relationship is cleaner. You don't have all the drama and the constant angst and negativity. There's some in there because that's being human. But the relationship, I like to say it's cleaner. And you don't have a lot of regrets with these people. Now, I've got good friends that they're good to me. Does that mean they're a good person? To me, I trust them more than others. But I know deep down their faults, and it's tough. However, when I talk about regrets, I don't have those with these people. And I love them dearly. I trust them. And the relationship is a lot cleaner. Other people may not have that same relationship. But I tell you another thing, why good people matter. They make you tougher because they'll be with you. A good person is not necessarily a yes man or a yes woman. They'll hunker down with you, but you still got to go. You still got to fight. You still got to have a hard conversation. You still have to resolve conflict. So they'll make you stronger. Good people will support you doing the right thing, which is a hard thing to do many times. But I can say this above all, good people, being one and finding those that are good people, that's how you find real peace. Yeah, and these are the people you want to surround yourself with. This is that tight circle that you can count on. They help shape and build your standards and your boundaries and your reaction, which is going to help shape your future. So you show me your inner circle, and I'll show you your next chapter or your next phase in life. Because if they're good people, it's going to be more positive. If they're not, okay, slippery slope. So good people don't demand perfection from you, but they do demand honesty and effort and positivity. They want that because they have that themselves, but they want that for and from you, selfishly for them, but also because they care about you. And you don't have to be intimate, close friends. No, they just want that for everybody. They wish everyone was on a better path, no matter how good your path is. And when you win, they cheer you on. And when others win, if you're a good person, you're cheering them on because jealousy there's enough for all of us. So I think I've hit most of my points. It's very important. And the characteristics of good, qualities of good, and then some of the bad, it sucks. But they're there, and they are parasites. So being a good person, it's not about being liked. No, and people will do things, and they'll fake things just to be liked. Being liked is not important. Being solid is important. That's what you want. Somebody you can count on. And to let someone know you can count on me. It's about becoming someone others can lean on when life gets heavy and the burden is just almost more than you can bear. Someone who makes the whole room calmer, not louder. Someone whose presence feels safe, not necessarily comfortable, but safe. And maybe most important part, surround yourself with good people because they're going to sharpen you, they're going to steady you, and they're going to call you to a higher place, and they'll go with you. How much more can you ask? And of course, bad people will do the opposite, because in a world full of noise and confusion and cheat codes and shortcuts, a good person can change everything. They can. So build that circle. Find good people. When you find someone that is not, abort that mission. Because there's too many out there. There's too many out there to settle for anything less. Don't manufacture a good person. Observe it and understand, oh yeah, that's not just because I like them. Remember that. It's not just about being liked. It's about being solid. All right, they're out there. Go find them. A lot of them are listening right now. I appreciate it so much. Hit me up, david@otalks.com or dave@otalks.com. Let me know what you think. I appreciate the feedback since we had my inbox. I didn't think I could get more. Now I've got more, so I get to answer them all, and it's great. I love it. But let me know what you think about this. The whole good person? What is it? All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate you more than, but most of all, thanks for talking with Dave. Giddy up.
Hey there. Are you having computer problems and can't get the help you need? Is there a language barrier or other obstacles that make you feel insignificant and unappreciated? We know just how you feel, and we are here to help. We are the Amish Tech Team. The Amish Tech Team is known for their work ethic, quality craftsmanship, and attention to detail. The Amish Tech Team will ride to your house, assess the situation, and leave you feeling good about the experience. Oh, Jedediah was just a lovely young man. He didn't fix my computer, but he built me a new desk, repaired my roof, and planted 2 rows of corn in the backyard. All of our technicians at the Amish Tech Team are English-speaking, respect traditions, and know their way around a grist mill. Send a letter by mail or carrier pigeon today, and when we get it, we will hop in the first buggy available and head out to your place. And the first 10 requests will get a complimentary jar of sorghum or an Amish Tech Team horseshoe to use as a paperweight. It's a real horseshoe. You don't have to put up with services that put you on hold or talk funny. Contact the Amish Tech Team and we'll be right out as soon as we get your message. And get free of our chores and load up the buggy and travel to your place, depending on traffic and the weather and those dad-blame motorized vehicles and all those bright lights and shiny signs that keep distracting the horse and tempting the young